Hello, listeners. Welcome to your new addiction, new favorite podcast series. Welcome to The Flow. You're here with me. We got Ichiban, River the Flow God, and Cardiac. We're all around the United States, and we've got our very special guest, Azid Enze, here starring with us on The Flow. Now, let's go to Cardiac. What are we doing today? Cardiac, what are we doing today?
Wouldn't it be crazy if I told you that I have no idea? A lot. Today we're talking about the anime industry as a whole. Sometimes we get on here and we talk about, the season, right? We talk about the year. Is this a good era for anime? Let's let's zoom out a little bit, right? Let's talk about, the general industry, the award shows, as it is award season currently with Critics' Choice Awards, the Oscars coming through. And you have a lot of series as well as movies that are starting to get nominations and starting to get snubs, as well as just some business financial stuff that's going on that we need to discuss today.
Man, fuck Crunchyroll.
I was about to say I was gonna ask, how do we feel about uh the monopoly finally happening? Crunchyroll and Funimation are now completely merging libraries as well as platforms. How do we feel about this?
I've been trying. So, like,
However,
every
just
time.
to clarify my past statements,
Oh, he's edging.
Crunchyroll, if you ever want to sponsor the flow, I do actually use your app religiously. Even with the price increase, I will still be using Crunchyroll. I do like Crunchyroll. It
Loyal
was just a
customer.
figure of speech.
That's
It was just a figure of speech.
I wonder why you still use the app even though they increased the price. River, what's why could it be that the price increase doesn't affect you? Huh? I
What
don't
do
know.
you
You
mean?
tell me.
I would just ask if he had the funds to continue the service.
Interesting.
Despite
Anyways,
the price increase.
so using Crunchyroll for me because I use Crunchyroll. Every time I log into Crunchyroll and I'm fucking, loading the website, the pop-up window always comes up. Do you want to merge your Funimation library and Crunchy library? And I keep ignoring it and hitting X because I don't know how big of an effect it's gonna have on the account. So I'm like putting it off until they make me pick one because I'm just gonna be like, not right now, not right now. I don't want it to fuck up anything.
What would it fuck up?
The library, like, because there are some anime that I haven't seen, and I don't want them to add what you've already seen on the Crunchyroll library as opposed to what you've already seen on the Funimation library when I haven't watched it.
I'm really trying to wrap my head around what you just said.
That's okay.
Don't y'all share accounts?
Yeah.
I think that's what he's saying.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So there's some shit that he hasn't seen on Funimation, because I'm assuming that's just your account.
No, we
And
don't
then-
have Funimation.
but-
I mean, I don't know. Do you have Funimation? I've never had Funimation.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Ichiban has Funimation.
Yeah.
There's some things that he has not seen on Funimation that he legit has not seen that you have seen on the Crunchyroll account. But if they merged,
Yeah, I don't feel like figuring out
You-
like what exactly is not seen and seen yet,
Yeah.
even though
Oh,
it's
he's
lazy.
that's why you gotta.
It's
That's why you gotta use Mal or AnyList, man.
Yeah,
I'm
right,
telling
right.
you. God, my
I just write my shit down on my notes app, but that's just me. Maybe
damn.
man.
No, actually,
I'm telling you.
I've seen your notes app. That shit is a mess. You are not organized with that whatsoever.
Hey man, look,
it's
bro.
literally
Look,
just
it looked pretty
an
organized.
endless
I know what you
list.
mean. It's pretty organized. Look,
How long is that list?
look. So you can see, like you got the, all my anime I'm
Holy
watching
shit!
or seeing, and like what episode I'm on, or like if I'm caught up, and then like there's a bunch of like
You're not even
other
halfway
ones
down
here.
the notes yet.
This is a bunch of anime.
Even
like
just having
most of this anime I haven't seen yet. It's just like ones I know I want to watch. And I have like my top,
exactly
my
like
top
having
list
that
is
all
under
in
that
the same
right there.
place.
Huh?
I hate that. I hate the idea of having all that just on one place.
Yeah.
Like you can't sort out like what you completed. You can't.
I have it
sorted
set.
by
It says
what you
completed, or it says finished. If I finished it, it says finished.
But you have to scroll down there compared to just like pressing a tab.
You know what? You were one of those kids where you had your folder and it was just fucking packed with all the
Well,
papers that
yes.
you had given back. Fucking disorganized.
Instead of just having different binders or whatever.
Shit, man.
As how do you feel about because I know you support uh, Funimation and Crunchyroll. So how does this affect your viewing experience?
Uh, oh, okay. So the pricing, I'm not really f with the pricing because I feel like at this point in
Mm.
time, people not just spending things only for anime, and I know like for anime as a whole, it's gonna be a monopoly basically. There's nothing else that
Right.
can really compete because at first these was the only two competitive sites. So like Funimation had certain rights to certain anime, and now Crunchyroll has certain rights. I think that's a good and a bad thing. On one side, you get more anime to watch as a consumer, especially since nowadays majority of the world is becoming an anime fan. Like we got Megan Stallion and Lisa who does the anime openings at the Crunchyroll Awards. Like it's just that big now.
Right.
so
Yeah.
so on one side, I think it's cool, and I feel like you kind of need a return in profit for that much that's going out there. But at the same exact time, I think it's a bad thing because they can literally do anything they want, and it could give a potential chance for more like piracy.
Which we don't
Mm.
support, by the way. We don't support piracy at
I
all.
like pirates though.
Right.
I mean,
But
look
Like
though, look. So like,
I've seen 800 episodes of One Piece on Crunchyroll.
holy shit.
yeah, saying definitely on Crunchyroll as well.
That's so crazy because I don't even know if Crunchyroll is the one that had One Piece.
No, it does. It
50-50.
It
does.
might be Funimation. Okay.
Okay, but
No
like,
dry snitch.
I feel that too, cause like, okay, it's merging, everything's gonna be together, but at the same time, that's still not everything, and there's still a lot of things that'll be missing in terms of anime and shit that you want to watch that just aren't there, and it's like those gaps. It's like, okay, well, does that even? There's gonna become a point where it's like, okay, is it even worth like doing this because like you have to pay so much, whereas like still you're not even getting everything you would want. And from what I've heard and also from experience as well, like Crunchyroll just doesn't have a very good like service in terms of their app. Like it's just not
Okay.
very good like compared to other places. Like I know like Netflix is a good example. Like you can tell the quality difference between like the Netflix, like using Netflix as opposed to using Crunchyroll. Like so
Yeah.
Yeah, the
I
UI
mean,
I
and
think
everything.
the fact they're charging so much for that and they still aren't even probably going to upgrade it at all. It's just going to stay the same because at this point they don't have to because they damn near have monopoly. And that could even cause more people to just go the route of hopping on the 1,000 Sunny or whatever the fuck. So
As it, what was you gonna say?
so what I wanted to say was I feel like just so the way that I see the merger is the same way I see content creators, right? Like once you make it to a certain point in your career and you know how to talk to your audience, right? Like even the people that's watching this right now, you guys, the viewers, right? You guys see a certain thing from us. You guys get certain emotions or whatever it may be, maybe positive and negative, depending on what topic may be, right? But when content creators understand their audience and learn from them, they know one big thing you can do no matter what that's never going to change is how can you make these people feel something for you, and how can you use that emotion to get a return back, like either in popularity, in fame, and status, or money. And that's what big content creators kind of do because they know how to use their audience because the audience worked for them. I feel like it's the same way with Crunchyroll. They know and understand their audience, and because they know no matter what, they can really abuse the prices, and there's still gonna be loyal people who still gonna come back, and there's still gonna be people who gonna be trying to, what's the right word? Trying to find as much money as they can just come to this app because there's a lot of people that's out there that 100% is against piracy, which is a good thing, and also just don't even know any other site that they could find. So because there's so many people who are just so new to anime, and most people be like, "Oh yeah, just get a Crunchyroll account; it's free." They automatically gonna go to it. That's how I feel because they know their audience, so it doesn't matter if it's a monopoly. And then you gotta think about it with recession and all that type of stuff. People are going to try to take away from one site, which may be Netflix, because Netflix don't got a lot of services. They take away a lot of anime every couple of months, and then come over here to the big sites, which is now Funimation and Crunchyroll together.
The only thing that I'll say about the war against piracy, basically, Funimation a few years ago really started to put their foot down on VPNs, piracy and just like combat a lot of that. They got very heavy handed in terms of searching out for their own licensed anime on these different sites and started DMCA claiming on 9 Anime, GoGo Anime type shit. And that kind of subsided once you started to hear about the Sony buyout more. But I will say, I don't know how confident Funimation can be in their own like user base because apparently Funimation has been struggling the past few months to have higher site traffic than those websites
Right.
in the first place. And granted, the past few months have been riddled with people gearing up for Funimation to be no more, so that could be a reason why. But not only is Funimation always, well, as far as I know, always been the smaller of the two companies, but at least in recent times, they have had a struggle with retaining people on the platform and keeping even people to their library, let alone a larger library. Yeah, granted, they'll have a larger library merging with Crunchyroll, but like River said, still won't be the totality of anime, still won't have the UI. Unless Sony plans on merging both companies and workforces and them coming together to actually, excuse me, create a holistic anime streaming app that is actually presentable and competitive to not only just anime streaming, not only to just High Dive and shit. What else is there now? Like, was it just those two
Shit,
in the
damn
US?
near, yeah. I mean, the thing is though, is like even through all these, I mean, I guess you got like Hulu,
Oh,
that's still
Verve.
Verve. Well, Verve is basically Crunchyroll. It's like the same shit, right? So
What is I know they are owned by Crunchyroll, but what's the
Verve
difference?
has Crunchyroll on it, but it also has a couple other things as well, added in. So it's not just anime. They have like other shit on Verve.
Oh, and they're
Um,
also owned by Sony. So yeah, never mind.
yeah,
This doesn't matter. Nothing.
but it's
Nothing
just like,
matters.
you know,
Nothing
the
matters.
thing that always kind of gets me is like some of these shows. Like I think Ninja Kamui was one recently where it's like these kind of
Oh, Max.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
okay, yeah, but I know like Ninja Kamui was one recently where it's like an anime will come out and like it's nowhere to be found. Like you just can't find it somewhere to watch like legally, right? And it's like shit like that. It's like okay, if Crunchyroll, is gonna up their prices like this, it's gonna do that. Like I feel like they should, be trying to find more anime, trying to get more on there as opposed to just kind of standing pat, which or doing something to kind of increase. Because what I read, it's like double the price. Like over a year span, I think it's going from $54 to $99 over the course of a year. So of course that's split into 12 months, but it'll still be a pretty sizable increase because that's basically double the amount.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, so I don't know that all it says on here from Crunchyroll's I guess announcement is like the service update. All it says is it'll be going from 54.95 to 99.99 as of January 28th, 2025. However, it does not say what that'll be in terms of monthly. So I know like, obviously yearly is like cheaper per month, but like monthly will probably be something different. Because I know right now I believe it's $10 per month. So if they're doubling that to $20, it's fucking insane. $20 is crazy. I'm not gonna lie. That's
Yeah.
crazy. So
Yeah, because that's not only competitive pricing with other streaming services, but it's surpassing it
yeah.
because I don't believe they allow streaming in 4K on Crunchyroll.
I think I think you gotta
I
get a
No.
like an updated version of Crunchyroll or something. Hold up.
Yeah, no.
Matter of fact,
And
yeah.
even and I will say they're not just merging Funimation and Crunchyroll. Sony bought um Sony had Crunchyroll. They dissolved Verve 9 months ago. So Verve is also merging. They
Really?
bought a
Oh shit.
French subscription anime service called Wakanim,
Whoa.
and, and it is also
Hmm.
merging. It got dissolved 3 months ago, and anything that was on its library is also merging. So granted, the library is jumbo sized now, but there's still just so much anime that comes out like that they just don't have the rights to, won't have the rights to. and that people want to see. Like people want to see Bleach. There's no way they can get Bleach, 1,000 Year Blood War arc. Disney has those rights. They want Ninja Kamui. Warner Brothers has that. That is on HBO Max. You're not getting that anytime soon. I can't think of specifically some. I know Max has like the entire Ghibli studio library. Those are movies that like baby's first anime movies. If you were getting into anime and there's a movie to see, it's fucking Kiki's Delivery Service. It's My Neighbor Totoro. It's whatever. And that's all on apps that you just cannot get the rights to. So no matter what the monopoly is, there's always going to be an incentive for people not only to not pay for Crunchyroll, but for people to not pay in general when it comes to this animation.
Yeah, right. Because like, why the fuck you just gonna get fucking Disney for just Bleach? Like, because there's not a lot of other shit on there. Like, why the fuck would you do that? Because as an anime fan, like, I don't really give a fuck about the other shit. I really only watch anime at this point. So like, I don't really give a fuck about all the other shit I'm getting along with that. So like, I don't really have a reason to like go do that myself. Also, I just checked, by the way, I want to bring this up. People complain about Netflix's pricing and their raise. If Crunchyroll doubles it to $20 a month, which we're not saying they will for sure, but just for some context, Netflix is $15 a month. So that would be $5 more in Netflix per month, which is insane. Again, not saying they will do that, but if they did double it, which would coincide with their yearly pricing doubling, basically. However, it's not a direct double, so it'd probably be like really like 18 a month or 17 a month. That's still more than Netflix, which is like, what the fuck?
For like $15.99 or something.
Real quick, are they merging also their works, like their employees, or no? Or are they like downsizing some of their
We
employees?
have no idea.
That's a good question.
Because
we have no idea. Most times this shit happens, they lay off.
Yeah.
Most times this shit happens.
Because at that point, I see even more problems because you're gonna have some people for online mainly. You're gonna have people for collections to make sure everything's running smooth. Because Crunchyroll site already, the second that say a new Dragon Ball episode comes out or a new Bleach episode comes out, it's gonna crash the day of. So if they're not fixing like the servers and increasing the size of it, and they don't have a team, or no, not even one team, multiple teams dedicated for that, that's already a problem. And if they lay off a lot of people, that means the new money that they're getting has to come from a whole new division for people that they just laid off, because now they got to save money from all the people they potentially could have had. So that's even worse to me. That means not only... Yeah, go ahead.
No, you keep going. You finish out your point.
No, because for me, right now, we're in a recession, right? We're still in a recession, at least in the United States. You can look at it however you want. But that means you're laying off people. And I'm not... This isn't confirmed, but most of the time when it's a big merger from a big company, they're going to lay off.
Someone going to get laid off,
Yeah. Somebody. So that means not only are you increasing pricing, mainly double, because at this point, it probably is double. If we're just going off of the annually pricing. So you laying off people, you're going double in price. There's also a recession in the United States. To me, it just seems like a power move to get the most money as possible before they really got to do anything better. I'm not saying they're not going to do anything better, but when it's a company like Microsoft and their track record with like some of their game division, like their gaming divisions and stuff like that, and you just look at how they do certain things, they just don't be caring as much. So I feel like with anime, because they just have the titles, they have all the power, and the fans basically have no say-so. And if you want some say-so, you're just going to be that percentage who just don't get it.
So they've already laid off 85 people.
85 people?
Jesus.
They laid off 85 people a year ago as a part of employee redundancy between 12 different offices, including its main headquarters.
Nah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Nah.
Okay,
Crunchyroll has a staff of 400.
I do. Damn, that sounds so low. But also I do have 2 points too. Just to clarify, what I read, I was kind of tripping because this is what I was going to bring up, because I think what I heard was kind of similar to this, and it appears that it's not, because Crunchyroll's pricing right now is actually $95.88 per year, which their cheapest thing is $7.99 per month. I was tweaking when I said 10. But yeah, so, and then the thing is it appears that, and this is a whole nother conversation, is actually what it did say, which I was going to bring up later because I thought I heard this as well, but I was reading this wrong anyway. So I think it's the same thing. Apparently, the Funimation account right now is $54.95 per year, and that will automatically be transitioning over to the 99.99 per year, which Crunchyroll is doing, which is only a slight increase for their current prices. But it does seem as though they will probably still be increasing their prices, like from what it appears. However, like the Funimation is basically like they're being forced to kind of, if they just stand pat, it's automatically doubling what they were paying for Funimation when they're going over to Crunchyroll, which is kind of crazy. But also, the other thing I was going to mention is like, bro, if they're not adding people, if they're not expanding their like their interface, whatever, like to be able to hold all these new anime coming in and new people coming into the app for Funimation, then like, bro, like imagine like AOT crashing the app, shit like fucking, I don't know, when a new solo leveling episode drops, it's gonna crash the app. When a new Skip and Loafer episode drops, it's gonna crash the app. Like some bullshit. Like just some random shit gonna start crashing the app. Like new episodes of everything
just fucking
gonna start
DDoS
crashing
it right now.
Like, bro, like it's just crazy.
And then that's even bad from a content creator perspective, because there's some people who like stay up all day just so they can do like the reactions of the episode the second it comes out. So that means content for not even people who work at like Funimation, Crunchyroll, but just content for like the YouTube type of thing will also be like delayed too. So I think that's even a bigger problem, because that's not even affecting one platform. That could affect multiple.
And then guess what that does? It's gonna cause all them motherfuckers to go to the high seas. There we go.
Yeah.
Already
turn into some straw hats. Yeah,
I can guarantee that Crunchyroll is not giving, the animators and people actually working on these anime are not getting enough money from Crunchyroll. I almost can guarantee. There's no way they're getting properly compensated.
Hell no.
So it's like, if you want to support the industry, it's almost not even like you want to get, like, getting Crunchyroll is like such a minimal thing. You're really not doing shit, like, realistically.
Your funds don't go to that. No, you're not. They have the money to pay. Like when you run a business, right? In order to operate a business on this level, you have to have some type of guarantee of funds to pay existing staff. That's why you make layoffs. You don't make layoffs before you develop an anime, before you develop a game, so you can get the cost to do it. No, you lay off after the project is finished, so you don't have to continue paying for that labor when that labor isn't actively working on a project that you need them for. So they have the funds regardless to pay those people.
Right.
Your subscription does not pay the workers at Crunchyroll. It does not keep people in the anime industry. It keeps monopolies.
So
it keeps big businesses. That's what it does.
I don't know how valid this thing is, because I typed up like how much does an average person at Crunchyroll make. I don't know if this is canon. I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna send you guys a link in Discord. But basically, it's like it says Crunchyroll overview. The max revenue they have made currently is 27.5 mil, and out of that 27.5 mil, it said, what was it? I gotta scroll down. It said only the top percent, so the top 10% of employees, I guess, make over 186K a year at Crunchyroll, while the bottom 10% only earn $59,000 per year. Which, just to get that perspective, depending on where you live, depending on which state, like right now I live in Columbus, Georgia, and that's like outside of Atlanta, right? Police officers only make about somewhere it's like 34, 35, maybe 42,000 a year. So if it was in Atlanta, it would raise based on the danger of that area. So Crunchyroll people, they kind of not really making too much, but that's like an average worker salary. But that's for the bottom 10% as well. And it says less than 59,000 per year. So
yeah,
they kind of make it.
There's only 400 workers. Like, it's not even that many.
And then it says right here. So that's why I don't know if this really canon. I said canon. Hold on. It says only 610 workers. 21% of Crunchyroll workers are women. 79 are men. The ethnicity is 46% white.
Damn, 20.
Yeah, 46% white. 28% Crunchyroll workers are Asian. 14% is Hispanic and Latino. The average salary is $105 per year. And it says employees will stay within the company for 3.7 years on average. So I don't know how recent this one is, but it says updated August. It just showed me. It says August of 2022. I mean 2023. So
okay, so that's still probably pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Hold on, because you're bringing up numbers, you're bringing up these statistics, percentages. Me being a math guy, it's tickling my brain a bit
Yeah,
that this is not making sense
yeah,
if you look at it from a graphical standpoint. You're telling me, and with River telling me that there's only 400 workers at Crunchyroll, that's not a lot.
yeah.
Not a lot
at
of
all.
people, but they made
Not
20.
to run a streaming
Twenty-seven
service
point five
at
mil.
all.
Yeah.
They made 27. All right, 27.5 million. All right, I'm gonna do
Was that
some
this year or like
quick
2023?
math.
It said 2023 August. I sent you one, and then this also is another site I'm looking at. It says something based on companies and how much each department gets. So it says Crunchyroll salaries by department. Out of their 12 departments, I'm just gonna give you the three that I think is most important. Their admin department is only 75,000 average. Engineering is 139,000. Marketing is 191. Design is 101, and operations is 99,000.
Well, I see
Financing,
what you're looking at.
yeah, finance.
I see what
Their IT department is 100 something. Sales is 282. Their HR department is only 104, 106. Their customer service department is 74,000 annually. So
Okay, if they actually only made 27 million, like I just divided that by 400, and like the
yeah,
average would be 70,000 basically. So that's actually
yeah,
not even that far off. Like
yeah,
if they're actually paying their workers that much, they probably don't have make a profit.
But
And
it's
actually on here
skewed.
it says 610.
yeah. That's where I
the
got to
problem
it.
comes. The problem with this is how this is being reported. There are some websites that do like praise. I know Glassdoor is one of them that has a lot of user submission in terms of salary number. Um, but Ichiban, what you cooking up over there?
From a business standpoint,
Yeah,
this is all it's skewed, and that makes sense. If you have your top 10% making most of your money, what are the higher ups doing as compared to what the lower 10% are doing? Because like how River did it, that's what I started with. I did
yeah,
27.5 mil divided by 400 employees. It comes out to about like a little less than $70,000 for each employee a year. But we know that's not the case because the
yeah,
bottom 10% is making less than $59,000. Because it could be one person. It could be one person that's making 59, and then the rest are making like 32.
yeah,
So it's like
How-
everything is it like it jumps almost
yeah,
to
Oh,
where
okay, yeah. I'm looking on Zipia. My fault to cut you off, but it has recently added Crunchyroll salaries from specific people and where they're officed at. So,
yep,
the lowest salary on here that was added in July, a global workforce manager in Culver City, California, making 63K. Help center manager in Dallas, making 64K. His coworker, but in California, same job, um, 64K. Senior accountants, twins, they're making 76K. Um, so you have a sizable amount. There's no one on here, mind you. I sorted by lowest. Nobody on here has added a salary under $60,000.
I mean,
So
mm,
either those people just are not reporting, or Crunchyroll's the greatest employers in the world,
yeah,
which I doubt very seriously because they just helped form a monopoly.
yeah,
Um,
I mean,
but
yeah. I mean, also I will say the fact that Crunchyroll made 27 million a year is very that doesn't even sound like right because Sony bought them for 1.1 billion. Why? How the fuck was something worth 1.1 billion that just made 27 million the last year? It doesn't even
because
make
it's
any
gonna
sense.
even if you adjust for evaluation and continued growth under the Sony label, it just doesn't make sense. They made more than that.
There's
yeah,
there's no way that's all they made. I don't know though. We might just not even be like
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Here there's just I guess there's just hella different shit because here it says the platform's annual revenue is 122 million, which makes a lot more sense. That makes a lot more sense.
for you said they bought them for 1.1
Billion, yes.
for them
And
to
and
make
that was in
that
2017.
I just read on another website though. It said that the annual income for Crunchyroll is 122 million, which makes a lot more sense if that is the case. And
No,
if
it
you
doesn't. Because
actually
if they
equate
bought them for
that
one,
for 400 employees, this is the difference in salary that if it was equally distributed. So that makes way more fucking sense.
I can't imagine Crunchyroll turning out a 10 times evaluation. like Sony evaluated them as
Yeah.
10 times more than their yearly income.
yeah.
So
Look,
maybe
all
And
right,
I don't
granted,
know.
that's
There's just
income, that's not profit, but
I'm not gonna lie. There's
twenty-seven
just way
point
too many.
five.
Well,
I don't because then this one it says the estimated average salary for Crunchyroll employees is around 128,000 per year. There's just so many fucking different numbers
yeah,
that we're finding. It just doesn't even like
makes
make
sense.
fucking sense.
Whoa,
Yeah.
whoa, whoa, whoa.
yeah, we
Hold,
we
whoa,
we
hold
need
on.
to put.
Does
Hmm.
Are they making money a different way?
What you mean by that?
There's
I mean,
something
yeah, through
off the books
marketing,
right
through
now because
merchandise.
one thing that again it tickled my brain. 20 imagine they make 27.5 million every year. Let's say that that's just how much they make every year. It would take them if they didn't pay their employees and they just were like, fuck you guys, we're making 27.5 mil. The next 40 years, making 27.5, they would then reach $1.1 billion.
I can kind of see it though because what is it? It's some laws that's in place depending on where you at. Where if you have over a 40, what is it? Like 40 employees? Because I was talking to my boss about this because we work at like a security place. The For every people that's over 40 employees, you have to pay back about like 1,000 something even before taxes for the employee. So you have to pay to keep them there versus their average salary. It it's something different. It depends on like what state you at because it was a state in Seattle that used to do that. A lot of companies used to do that. Yeah. So you got to pay
20 million
extra.
20 million sounds like a profit number.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like an income.
Okay.
It sounds like a
Yeah.
profit
For sure.
margin.
Okay. Yeah. That's got to be what it is. That's got to be.
Okay.
There's no
20 million
fucking
sounds
way.
like a profit.
Yeah.
So that's after you scrape off,
Yeah.
you know, paying for your employees, paying for the licenses, paying for the servers, paying for the lawyers to go to the court to deal with the Sony acquisition. That's after you pay for all of that. That's what that sounds like.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes a lot more sense too because if you really think about it, if they are making about 122 million per year and Sony evaluated them at 1.1 billion, Sony going into that purchase probably already knew that Funimation was going to be bought by Crunchyroll, that they were basically going to have a monopoly, meaning that they probably also knew Crunchyroll was going to have an increase in annual revenue very soon, and that 122 million was probably going to go up to like 200 million. And at that point, 200 million is like that makes a lot of sense for that amount of money purchasing Crunchyroll.
Well, it was Sony that bought Funimation. It was
okay.
Sony bought Crunchyroll. Well, they inquired about Crunchyroll in 17, completed it by 2020. 21 engaged in Funimation, collapsed Verve, and bought that French one that I was talking about in 22.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Then it kind of makes sense, but again, it's just kind of lame because they basically just have.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Mm.
When you see that merch, like, okay, who has Crunchyroll here? Aside from me, River. Okay, everybody.
I lied.
Okay, you done. All right, the merch that you see that they sell, do you actually like think about buying that merch? Like, do you buy it? Have you bought any of it?
No.
Nah.
No. I wonder how many people actually buy the merch and where does that money go?
Well, I do know, what is it? Funimation had like a big thing. It was a YouTuber that was out there that he talks about it a lot. His name Chibi Reviews. And he talks about it because, what is it? Funimation like even increased like their merchandise because they're the only people from an actual anime streaming service. You can go on the platform and buy the anime figurines, anime merchandise from their direct site. So I think last year they actually increased all the prices and they made it a bigger profit because they know fans are going to buy it no matter what. I forgot, but I would be more upset because these anime conventions, I'm already thinking they pretty high priced and people are custom making these versus like this website and they got people making these specifically, and they're even more than when you go to an anime con. So I'm not even for sure on that.
Let's see. I'm gonna see if I can
Mm.
find that video too. Maybe we'll put it in the
Well,
description.
yeah, I mean, I will say, I guess, just kind of in conclusion, it's just like it kind of sucks, I guess, just in general. But it's kind of like what do you expect in a way? Like it was all probably gonna happen eventually, just at the rate things were going. So, I mean,
Yeah.
Damn.
it's unfortunate, but I guess in reality, if you really want to support this shit, like, isn't like buying, I guess, like
Yeah.
the actual copies,
DVDs, Blu-rays,
yeah,
manga.
whatever,
Not to say that manga doesn't have its own level of monopolies and big business and whatever. Of course, you have the publishers themselves in Kodansha, and a lot of us just tend to make them rich. But from my understanding, more of that actually goes to the creators of your favorite stories.
Yeah.
Or at the very least has a higher chance of getting to them than watching the Jujutsu Kaisen anime and hoping that Gege is seeing us from that.
Shit.
Because he's not. I'm sorry to tell you. One thing I do want to ask though, that's kind of stemming off from the eventual Crunchyrollification of anime. With them also hosting, as of right now, the biggest and most renowned anime award show, with anime becoming more mainstream, and now with Crunchyroll having more of a library and everything, of course, that probably means that they'll get closer to the truth in terms of what nominations they have and less favoritism for just Crunchyroll anime, because they'll just have more anime on file. But do you all think that now with Sony behind everything and with Crunchyroll having more of a library, it will turn the Crunchyroll Anime Awards closer to something that we see of like the Game Awards, where it's now more produced, it's now more industry wide, and it is now for the point of trying to get other people outside the anime industry to not only fund Crunchyroll and come in as partners, but also to just pay attention to anime more?
I think that's already happening, to be honest with you. Like, I feel like we're already getting to that point. Like, I know Ozzy brought up earlier, like, oh, like Megan Thee Stallion's on this shit. Like, it's just like it's getting more pushed out. You can tell that it seems like it's trying to become more produced. But yeah, like you were saying, like there's no other anime awards that can compete. I mean, I would argue the tournament bracket every year that comes out on, that the Flow likes to do is pretty up there. But regardless, like there's no other awards that can compete in terms of, there just isn't another anime awards even close, like especially in the West, like whatsoever. So like I definitely see that happening very soon, and it kind of already has started.
Just to clarify, are you asking about like the legitimacy of these shows?
The legitimacy not only in the anime community, but also like to quote unquote normies. Like, do you see it being now instead of just the Crunchyroll Anime Awards? Now it is the Anime Awards.
The
that
Anime
if you
Awards.
see if you see some shit on TV talking about anime, it's gonna reference. It's gonna say, "Oh, Jujutsu Kaisen is trending, the 2023 Crunchyroll Anime of the Year winner," type shit, or the next Crunchyroll Anime Awards. Like, instead of just having Meg be in the building, she's gonna be giving out awards.
Oh shit.
It's gonna be I don't know what the version of, because I don't know how deep y'all are in the games, but at this recent Game Awards, they had Kojima and Jordan Peele talking. Jordan Peele talking for like 25 minutes about a game that they didn't show gameplay for. Like that was just an example of like them just like, oh my god, we have people in Hollywood. Jordan Peele's here. Timothy Chalamet's here. Blah 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 blah. Like whatever the anime version of that is. Like, do you see that happening?
Yeah, like
that.
Go ahead, Ichiban. I've been talking a lot. Go ahead, bro.
Oh, I was gonna say that seems like a chance for them to make money, to make profit.
Yeah.
Like bringing Megan Thee Stallion, bringing Jordan, bringing who's that third person you said?
Timothy Chalamet.
But yeah, like
whoever that is.
Everything's run through social media,
Wonka.
and if Anyways,
Put that
no,
together.
I'm not considering him Wonka. You're insane. You're crazy for that. But
He's the Willy Wonka.
Yeah, I
no,
never
he's
actually
not.
correlated that was who that was. 'Cause I've
Good.
seen
You
what Timothy
shouldn't.
Chalamet looks
Yes,
like. I never
his
realized.
most popular shit is Dune as of right now. But
Okay.
yeah,
Even Dune was not that good. But anyways,
what? Anyway, anime.
Yeah.
if you can reel in the audience through that form of media to make it the next Grammys, to make it the next Kids Choice Awards, to make it the next Oscars, making it the anime award, like the anime awards, they're gonna make a fuck ton of money. Because
Yeah.
regardless if it's owned by someone that we resent or not, it does have that effect, or it's going to have that effect where I think you talked about it at some point, Cardiac, where it brings people together to sit down and watch, whether it's going to be on their televisions, their phones, or laptops, whatever. Like it's going to bring people together to talk about, to watch together. So there's like another way to do that.
Yeah.
What am I looking at?
No, this is my screen. My bad. My bad. I didn't think it was going to distract you. My bad. I'll turn it off real
No,
quick.
you're good. You're good.
My bad.
You're telling me that you didn't think women were gonna distract me? Are you insane? You insane? I'm fucking
I don't have a
yeah.
is
comeback.
is
I don't have a comeback.
is this the like the guests that were at
Yeah.
the pre?
I'm
Why is
just
Demarcus Lawrence?
yeah.
Actually, it's already happening.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah. That's what I was about to
That's what you're showing.
Yeah, that's what I was about to
you're
say.
showing.
Because they got the person from like Marvel in here. She's like
Iman
Yeah.
is valid.
Yeah.
She's valid as
Miss
hell.
Marvel, the
She's
director of
valid.
Across the Spider
She's
Verse,
she's a fucking nerd.
Screamers,
All right.
football. Yeah. And they got people from the fashion industry here. Not even just from
Yeah, no, I don't know what they're doing there.
Yeah. They got other content creators. They got Lisa here. I genuinely don't know who this dude is, so somebody go say something to me soon.
I
But
think I've heard that name before.
I heard the name. I just don't
haven't.
know if I listen to
Producer.
anything. Yeah.
As a producer, I think. Yeah.
And then they got they literally got Megan Thee Stallion, former WWE world champion actress, and all these other people from like hip hop bands, creative and fashion.
Lord
influencers.
Miller. Oh my god.
Yeah. Porter Robinson.
And granted, the more that anime grow, like we can't on one hand say that it's great that anime is becoming mainstream and then be mad that that people from the mainstream are coming into anime. But this is like bordering on like, okay, it's just making us question like, do these people actually fuck with anime or do they see a business opportunity to expand into a market of probably mostly like children.
To play devil's advocate, I guess too, like you could definitely argue this is a good thing overall because of its potential. Because like you got to think like most of these other award shows, are pretty much gone to shit from what I've heard anyway. So like realistically, we know the Crunchyroll Awards is kind of some bullshit, right? In terms of shit not getting nominated, certain things are gonna push, and stuff like that. And realistically, the voting, the popular shit's always gonna win, not the best thing. You know what I mean? Like that's just how it is. So like realistically, the other award shows are kind of similar, at least from what I've heard. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But like having Crunchyroll push out, anime to a much larger audience like this, or potentially become the anime version of, like the Grammys, Oscars, whatever the fuck, the Game Awards, whatever. If it does that, if anything, it's just a good thing because it's just pushing it out there. And in reality, it's not like we're gonna have a better anime awards become that anyway. So like, might as well have it be Crunchyroll because we're not getting something else. So shit, fuck it.
The thing with that, like just accepting it, I guess, is that like, then what happens with anime trending? What happens with us? Do we just we still defer to?
I was just going to talk about that too.
When we discuss anime, do we then adopt the language of Crunchyroll anime award winning series, blah 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 blah? Because that's what comes with that. But I'm saying that's what comes with, and inherently it will happen to an extent of like, people, how people use like record sales for albums and like, hey, if it was good, it would have sold. If it was good, it would have won at Crunchyroll.
That's
Like
nasty.
fuck that anime trend. Fuck that anime trending shit. That's a bunch of Twitter nerds. Fuck that flow shit. Them like it's just 5 of them. But like Crunchyroll though. But I'm saying
Yeah.
that's what's gonna happen if as a community we accept the fact that this monopoly now is going to control the conversation. Even with that being the case, like still get together, still have our own manga awards, Rogers base, still do what what y'all did, still do the
There's the
uh
Shoujo Awards too. I think.
yeah, the Shoujo Award. Like still do all of those things because that's what breeds a community. That's what makes a community strong. That's what keeps the art and not just media for people to consume and a show for
Yeah.
people to watch.
You're cooking.
Don't let the flame die out.
I'll also say, if anything, it's almost a benefit for that because people are gonna see Crunchyroll and be like, "What the fuck is this? This is not. I've seen all these other anime that should have won whatever," and then they're gonna go back to the community and try to figure out what the community is thinking, try to find the community award shows. So, like, if anything, it might even create more of a bond and even increase the amount of people who care about the community award shows because they're gonna see Crunchyroll and be like, "I don't like this. Let me go find out what I think really should be the thing." Because in reality, the popular shit is damn near always going to win when it comes to these type of things.
Get this in. I gotta get this
Ichiba finna talk about trickle down.
when we think about the anime community, we realize how defensive we are as fans of anime too. It's like, oh, what do you know? What have you seen? Does your perspective matter or not? Because you're so seasoned and well versed, right? So then it's like actually like how you said it. Do these people when they're doing the anime awards? Because I feel like this we're right. That's what it's going to turn into. I can see it already. Are the people that are in charge of putting presenting these anime awards, do they actually watch anime? Do their opinions are they weighed in? And if we can figure out, like how you said, what the hell is this guy doing here in presenting these awards? He's not even a nerd or anything. Like, what the fuck? It's like we're very judgy. We're very judgy. And I feel like we have a right to be because when things get mainstream, we got to be able to defend the authenticity and the legitimacy of these awards. Crunchyroll, we already do that. We already say, what the fuck? It's just the same 5 anime in every category. Like, did they, like, who did the research behind the numbers of these awards? Like, why the fuck is this a Demon Slayer praise for the whole thing? And the mainstreamness of it, I see a lot more cons than pros. Anime being mainstream, okay, cool. That's popularity is being gained. People are going to view our podcast a little bit more. But the cons of it is there's going to be a lot more BS out there that's going to try and control the conversation when really there's no validity to their opinions for
I
the
agree.
most part.
I feel similar to Ichiban overall. Like the authentic. Can't say the word. You're gonna have to say it for me, bro. My mouth dry. Thank you. My mouth dry. Hold up.
Authenticity.
Authenticity. Thank you. My mouth was dry.
Yeah,
bro.
you got it.
Stay hydrated, guys. But no, I relate to you because even on like a smaller scale, right? I felt recently, and this, I want anybody to know if you're gonna hate somebody, you can hate me. Don't hate these dudes because that's not what they not about this. I'm just saying this case.
Boy.
But
he may be spitting.
But not like so like recently, like even as a content creator, right, who likes and enjoy anime. If you guys ever seen me before, you guys know anime creator. That's all I really post most of the time. And it came to a point where I would like go to these other areas. Like I went to my first anime con last year and things of that nature. And then I found out about Trap Sushi that happens in Atlanta and things of that nature. And so many anime fans, they come together to like have a good union of stuff and just stay connected as a community. Like Trap Sushi is mixing in Atlanta culture with Japanese culture, right?
Okay.
And the first time I went, thought it was cool, meeting all the content creators, building the connections, thought it was amazing. All these other people within the anime community. And then after my second or third time, I'm not saying I saw it for what it was because it's different for everybody. Each person's different.
Ooh.
But for me specifically, right, I saw it, and for me personally, it kind of took the whole feeling of being an anime fan away from me. So to me, this is how I say it. It's similar to how people be like, I wish anime wasn't mainstream. It's similar to that feeling. But I'm glad anime is more mainstream. But it's like within the black community, at least for me, I feel like kind of lost its effect. Like my brother personally was the type of person, he had bullied me because he didn't like anime and all that stuff. He personally told me, hey bro, you gotta lose some weight, you gotta start doing push-ups, you gotta start going to the gym, all that stuff. And it helped me in the future, yeah. But in the process, right, anime was kind of my only thing that I had. It was just part of my own thing that I enjoyed. Nowadays, I kind of see it.
Like your identity, kind of?
Kind of. In some parts of it, it just doesn't feel the same. Like, what is it? Somebody said something to me, and he a cool guy. And that's when I really was like, I don't F with anime community of this level like I really can say I could. He said, let's bring the hood to anime con and stuff like that. It was just things like that. I kept hearing back to back to back. And then people over here, they treating the anime place like it's a club. Like we really trapping. I'm not saying really trapping, but like a trapping place. And to me, when I
it's popping now.
Yeah, when I kind of thought about it like that, I'm like the same. Because like I used to grow up in the hood, and I'm going to try to make this as short as possible. Don't talk too much, right?
You're fine.
When I grew up in the hood,
you good.
I was like, bro, I don't want to do the same thing as everybody else, right? And kind of like me being anime, I was labeled as weird. Even though I was on the track team and sports team and all that stuff, I still labeled as weird, and I had nowhere to fit in, right? So then I just kept it close with my friends, and that was it. But now it's just so popular, and then people who kind of was like that also grew up in the hood, but had that different hood personality than me. It's kind of different seeing now that they attached with anime because they kind of making those correlate together, and I don't F with it like that. Maybe because my faith as well, but seeing how they attached it to anime and kind of now it's super popular. So now you got all these people that want to come to this place, seeing these content creators thinking it's amazing. To me, it's just not as cool.
Yeah, it
makes people.
It happened. Yeah. It happened with rap. It happened with certain. It happens with phases of fashion. It happens to whenever things move out of the underground. There's a level of grittiness, a level of that underdog mentality, that dog mentality, just in general, to where like you don't got to get it out the mud no more. Yeah, and because now, like you don't got to be trapping to afford to get a turntable to make beats or to DJ. I got FL Studio on my computer. Mm-hmm. Like and once that ease of access becomes a thing, that's when it loses the close knitness, the fact that only a few of y'all made it out the bus rides of bullying, made it through the watching that shit underneath the pillow or like late at night type shit. That feel is gone.
Yeah, it's like now as a content creator, if I don't go to this place, because I stopped, I just said F it. I said I'm gonna do my own thing. But it feels like if I don't go to this place, it's like you're not gonna make the connections with the people you would have made if you're not like sitting in VIP with them or chilling over here from like 10 p.m. all the way to 2 p.m. 2 a.m. the next day. So I'm like, so that's how I feel. I feel like you can lack connections that way. And if anybody watching this and want to be a content creator, just do your own thing, bro. It's gonna be hard, it's gonna be tough, but try the best way that you can do it for yourself. That's how I feel.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Create your own create your own lane at that point. No have to bend to anyone else.
But yeah, no disrespect, because like if you ever see these guys at Trap Sushi, that respect, they ain't say nothing like I said, so I'm not disrespecting.
I ain't going to Atlanta. Fuck that shit.
I mean, actually, I might be going to MomoCon, but that's the different thing, I think. So.
Oh no, I might see you.
Shit, yeah. We'll see though. I don't know what I'm doing.
His name is River.
The Flow God.
The Flow God.
Yeah, tight shit.
River Flow. That's his full name.
I do. Damn, y'all are making some good ass points too. Everything that we spoke about for the last 10, 15 minutes kind of made me realize that with everything going on and moving from a more underground to a mainstream dynamic, we got to make sure that I'm speaking to everybody out there. I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about the weirdos, the weebs, the outsiders, the people who were bullied, the people who are just fans of anime overall, but wanted to keep it, like
The
a little
beautiful
low
women too.
key about it. Yeah, everybody, man, everybody a part of the community. It's gonna be up to us to maintain the legitimacy of what we think about certain shows, characters, openings, arcs, villains, and sagas. We gotta make sure that we keep that standard, that bar up there. We're not gonna be fucking allowing the bigger, more what's it called? The bigger companies out there who are gonna hop on the bandwagon to take control of the conversation and direct our interest when there's no interest to be directed. Like
Bar.
like we gotta make sure that we keep just the quality of anime up there. Don't let them spit out some BS just because they claim that, oh, it's got 2 million views. Yeah, 2 million views of people watching it for 10 seconds and calling it garbage. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, we got to make
Facts.
sure we stay on top of that.
Realize will always
Oh
realize.
my god.
Yeah.
I'll
You
give it
thought
to
I
you,
Throwback of the
son.
forgot.
century.
I'll give it to you
Throwback
this
of the
time.
century, bro. Oh my
You thought I
god.
I'll give it.
forgot.
Shut
I
up.
like that in a while.
Kind of transitioning though. I do want to, since we're going off of the new world of there being a monopoly in terms of how to view anime media. Um, I just want to, since we're exiting award season a little bit. I guess it'll conclude with the Crunchyroll Awards in a few weeks.
Pretty much.
Um, yeah, to be honest, uh, I just want to report a little bit on how some anime have been faring in the general award scene without a Crunchyroll or I guess a Sony as the figurehead stepping into it, because that's really where the dangers, well, not dangers, but the eventual uh influence that anime may gain will come in. The fact that it's now like Sony, which is a huge player in terms of media, in terms of shows, in terms of manufacturing production, now owns distributing rights for hundreds of anime. So when we talk about A Boy and the Heron getting nominations for uh Academy Awards or whatever, when we talk about the Scott Pilgrim anime for some reason breaking out into the mainstream, um, do you all think that anime will get more respect in terms of Hollywood award shows? Um, I can report on some of them. Uh, for example, The Boy and the Heron won. Well, it got a nomination for a BAFTA award, and then it went 1 for 2 at the Golden Globes,
Mm.
and got Best Animated Feature over Spider Verse. Um,
Damn.
Scott Pilgrim won one award, which is a Critics' Choice Awards, and then The Boy and the Heron is still up for an Oscar, and then 3 Annie Awards. But the Annie Awards are awards intended for animation and animation products. So, understanding what we do know about the industry, do we think that this could potentially lead to anime faring better during award season?
I would say
I
so.
just
Just
hope that
from
they
like
don't. Go
the
ahead.
amount of push, the amount of push that they'll have and stuff like that, as well as the award shows will want to capitalize on an audience as well, seeing the anime audience grow. Like if there's even like certain shows having an anime category, like best anime, you know what I'm saying, of the year. Like just having that would capitalize on an anime audience that's ever growing. So like even for them, I definitely see that happening just to boost their own viewership. Just having a couple categories, either anime being more represented in, or even just anime categories in general. Like I don't see why that wouldn't be a smart decision. So
I just hope that they don't turn it into a merchandise thing
hmm.
where it's like,
Oh, it will be. It will be. I'm not gonna lie.
I hate that. Oh my god. Like, just
I'm not gonna lie.
let it win because it's a good show, not because it's sold fucking 1,500 units of figurines. Like, fuck. Like, come
My
on
anime
now.
Oh, I
white
thought you
boy.
meant like Sony's gonna use like the anime themselves to start pushing merchandise.
Oh, I no, I
That's
mean, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at all. Why
yeah,
wouldn't they?
no,
What the fuck? It's a huge market
yeah,
there. Like,
yeah, no. Because look, Sony, and it's so interesting because I was getting interested into like Sony and Sony products. My fault, I thought I heard something.
Oh,
Thought the feds was knocking down, but
FBI, FBI.
stop shit talking Sony. We're coming for you and your PlayStation 5.
We got the
But I was doing
blast.
research. I was doing research on them a few months ago, and actually, funny enough, as a company, aside from PlayStation, Sony is pretty down as a company. I'm sure once we like, think about it. When's the last time you bought Sony headphones? When's the last time you bought a Sony TV? When's the last time you bought Sony accessories to
They
go
got
with your
TVs?
shit?
I'm
I think
sorry.
Right, right. They have TVs and
I
stuff.
think they'd be putting Sony on like TVs
Oh,
type
okay.
shit. I don't think they manufacture them type
Okay.
shit. If that makes sense. Um,
Yeah.
well, basically, like those, their dominance in terms of like actual technology and technological use in terms of computer accessories has gone down tremendously. With Apple taking over, with Beats taking over the headphone industry, with uh, Walkmans dying, speakers. I don't know who the market leader for speakers is right now. But I
JBL.
know for sure it's not Sony. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably like JBL or something. Um, and Sony's losing out on a lot of that. So really right now their biggest thing is gaming. And granted they're close to a monopoly of that depending on how Xbox moves within the next few years. But right now, if
RIP.
they want to get into merchandise, if they want to get into whatever the fuck that isn't, Sony music entertainment type shit, get into animation with anime and you tap back into the Japanese market and then you dominate like the most probably fastest growing
Uh,
entertainment like style in
yeah.
America. Like we're coming off of a Hollywood strike. Animation Guild in America is about to go on strike. The MCU and other like comic book, if not just book adaptation genre lane is like falling out. The biggest thing right now is anime, at least growing. So they're gonna double
Oh,
down on that shit for sure.
Yeah.
well, I mean,
They
bro,
should.
when One Piece
Smart.
was present in the NFL, like that should have been a big sign right there.
Yeah.
That alone.
Yeah.
I don't think that's ever been done.
Yeah. No, for sure. Um, I guess speaking of that too, that just reminded me because you brought up One Piece.
Oh my god.
That's a whole other I guess
There he
different
goes.
convo. But I do feel as though we are very close to the point where in terms of anime, it's it feels like we're kind of on the edge. Like you see it kind of growing and growing, but I haven't felt like just that boom where it's like okay,
Ready.
anime is like everywhere now. And I feel like we're almost close to like seeing something like that where it's like okay, shit, like anime is like dead ass like everywhere. Like you're seeing sprinkles, but like, I think we're close to the point where it's like that shit's just everywhere and like especially I think a good point Cardiac brought up is like shit in America with in terms of the Writers Guild, the anime, whatever, strikes and stuff like that, and all that shit. And just other stuff like kind of going in a
Netflix.
downward trajectory at the moment. Anime doesn't have to deal with any of that, and like it's like you know, so
Yeah, I mean, look
yeah,
at Netflix too. There's a huge increase in them in anime titles on Netflix.
mm-hmm.
They've just been coming out.
Type shit.
Y'all saw me do the vlogger opening type shit,
Yeah, yeah,
like uncover my camera type beat,
Yeah.
bring you
I'm a,
into my world,
man.
We got Isekai. Is that what's going on?
something like that. Shout out Dylan, man.
Also, there is
But yeah, man.
Buddha that I do want to mention for another thing as well in terms of this is another conversation I was having the other day. I know Cardiac was kind of participating in that, but I want to get your thoughts on this as well because it kind of pertains to a degree. And so it all kind of falls into the anime industry. I know we all obviously know the One Piece remake is happening and coming out at some point. And I was having a conversation with mainly Timmy, shout out Timmy, in terms of whether or not like One Piece should have a remake. Like, should it have a remake or like should that really be what's being pushed? And my argument was like, okay, look, like One Piece's pacing issues, the animation issues. It has so many issues in early One Piece and even continuing into later in the series that manga readers damn near say it's unbearable compared to the manga, to the point where it's like they had to make one pace to pace it better. Like, because it just was so bad, they made a whole nother cut of the anime just for the pacing. So it's like, to have One Piece be changed in terms of the animation, in terms of the pacing, and redone, it can put it up to a level and standard that many people think it should be. But then his counter argument to that, just to give you guys that as well, was kind of like, there's so many other manga, so many other different things out here that just are not getting love, not getting the attention, and could get anime and could potentially be big as well, like new things to try and do, that aren't being done because shows are being remade, like One Piece, which is a whole complete undertaking because One Piece is going to be so long. That means, Wit Studio, one of the bigger studios, is going to be locked into making a very long series, and stuff like that. And it's just like, from a money perspective, yeah, you make sense. But his kind of point was like, okay, there's so many other series that could be getting love and could be putting out there instead of redoing something that's already damn near, One Piece is in its final arc or final saga at this point. So it's like, it's not far from being ending, and now we're already making another series and shit. So like, yeah.
I think I think personally, if I was the executive, this is what I would have tried to do. I would either try to see a way how our manga could be paced better. I mean, not manga, our anime from the manga, since it is in this last saga and Oda's been doing a really good job. I still feel like, because what is it? When we had like COVID, and then even after COVID, they took a couple of breaks for the dub and the sub of One Piece. I feel like if it does catch up to a certain amount of time, then we could try to promote it or try to get the live action back up versus remake the entire first arc. I'll say this. I feel like that's something you should at least wait till your official anime is over. Because then what about the people who's been trying to, because I dedicated years of my life to this. I am 21 years old. Yeah. I'm 21 years old. I started One Piece when I was in middle school, before I was even 14 years old. So I feel like I would at least want to see the conclusion, the finale of like how One Piece officially ends. May that be the manga or may that be the anime. You're going to have people who are going to get spoiled regardless. But it's been going on since even before I've been born. So I do feel like, from at least my perspective, and I'm not saying this for everybody, but it should at least pace itself better currently with the anime they have now, because I feel like they have the resources to pace it better. And some people outside of that have already done it on like official websites. Instead of like doing that 5 to 10 minute recap, they can just cut that down to actually focus on the manga main source material. And then if they feel like something's catching back up too far, maybe take a little bit of a break, try to work out that live action, because they had the time out to do the live action. I feel like that's better versus have 3 different sources of One Piece plus a movie for like animation movies. That's just too much doing at once. So if one thing failed, they all could fail. Let's say somebody don't F with the live action, and they be like, I'm not going to give the manga a try, and I'm not going to give the other animes a try.
Or the other anime.
Yeah. So I feel like, personally, Oda can do it. I'm not saying he can't, because if you dream it, anything can happen. But I feel like if you spread yourself that thin and the delegation isn't there as much, like Oda had a hands-on experience with the live action as more than other people. He also, most likely with this anime, he already gave them the details and tools. He don't need to put full everything in there. And the manga and anime, he's putting all his time into. So I feel like if he just slowed down slightly with the remake, focus more on the pacing of the anime we have currently, still focus on the manga, make sure it's as good as possible, like he always been doing, and then make sure that remake he's still hands-on with, he's solid. The remake can come out after the official anime series end, and he'll still make money even past that.
Well, at least the manga is.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like One Piece at this point, even once he officially ends the saga, he can make so many other side stories animated, like he did with the monster one, that one that just came out on Netflix, the prequel to One Piece. He just recently did that, so he can do anything with it. That's how I personally feel. But
I mean, I guess it's not all Oda's decision though. Like, I mean, he can probably have input, but
that's Toei.
Toei. I feel like even from a money perspective, though, I feel like I don't think that's wasting resources, because you want to return in your profit as quick as possible. But I think for the longevity's sake, it's better to wait. That's how I personally feel.
One Piece isn't a legacy franchise. I was having this conversation with uh, another one of my homies. Shout out Dreamer. He has the opinion that like you could turn anything into a legacy franchise, and by a legacy franchise, all I mean is like it gets readapted. It's the same story. It's Little Red Riding Hood. It gets readapted every generation with new animation, with new uh changes in the story every time, so it lives forever. Batman, the writers switch out, continuity changes, people die, the moniker never goes away. You can always
Right.
buy a Batman comic that came out last week, last month, whenever. Same with Spider-Man. One Piece is not one of those, and I feel like if the remake
At least not yet.
conti-
Maybe. Would you say?
no, it's not. Like there should not
Well, I
be a
mean, not
Luffy
yet.
for
Like
every.
it could be eventually.
I don't think that it should be.
Okay.
Like
Right.
creatively, like the story does not lend to retelling it, especially just due to the length. Like
That's fair.
it's not a legacy story. It's a story that's everlasting. But in order for it to last forever, it has to be able to last. If it can't even last until the story is finished and you just want to remake it, like I'm the biggest critiquer of opening One Piece potentially being actually bad because the animation is so bad. I still don't want you to remake it. If you can't get into One Piece as is, you can't get into One Piece. It's the same thing with people not being able to watch films from before the 70s. You know how many people I know that have tried to watch The Good, Bad, and the Ugly, and they're like, this camera is too static. Where's the dolly? They weren't doing that shit in 63. I'm sorry. Can't watch it, I guess. But like that dates art. That makes art great. And especially in terms of anime, imagine if we just remade Akira. Like imagine if we just remade if Miyazaki just remade uh, My Neighbor Totoro. Imagine and granted the closest thing we have to that is like Dragon Ball. But even Dragon Ball, aside from Z, aside from Kai, which that had something to do with more like instead of, just updating animation, it had more to do with the fact that anime was now in a new continent. Anime was now seeing a second life
Yeah.
halfway across the world. So the things that were in the original Z for a Japanese audience were things that needed to be changed for a newly dubbed a newly dubbed um place to display this media. That's not the case for One Piece. The same people watching One Piece, the same type of people trying to watch One Piece now are the same people that have been watching One Piece and caught up during COVID. Are the same people who were watching One Piece when it was closing in on 1,000 chapters. Were the same people that were catching up to One Piece when it was Marineford and it was the greatest war arc in all of Shonen. It's the same type of people. It's kind of in the same era. Animation's gotten better, but that doesn't mean that you then need to turn this 1,000+ long chapter series into something that needs to be redone potentially every generation. It's not a story like that. Let it last. Let the art sit. Let it age. Let it. It'll age out for some people. It'll be too old for some. Fuck them. You don't need that.
Fuck them.
Each month.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
go ahead.
my bad. River, you want to say something? Because I'm gonna say one last thing, and then I feel we did a pretty good enough
Okay.
job. Wrap it
Okay.
up, maybe.
Yeah. I guess just final couple points from me. I do feel, Cardiac's point is definitely well made in terms of if you play it that way, it's okay. It's gonna get remade every generation at that point. However, the from the prospect of if you're watching One Piece, the same people are gonna want to watch it again. I do definitely feel like a lot of people's complaints with One Piece would be fixed with the new anime. And I guess if my one thing would be if this anime is like done very well to perfectly, so okay, then we don't need to remake it again because the original anime was kind of fucked. You know what I mean? So that's an argument. However, what I do agree with Cardiac on is they should at least wait to do that until things are like completed and like really hone in and focus on making the best anime they can once everything's said and done. Like, okay, we're gonna remake One Piece, but like make it as good as possible with all our focus, all our attention. Like how Azza was saying with Oda, he can just focus on the anime now, on this specific remake. And then again, another point is as well with anime being redone like this, One Piece isn't the type of anime like I know Cardiac brought up a Dragon Ball Z Kai. I think other examples could be Fullmetal Alchemist because the manga wasn't even done when Fullmetal Alchemist finished, so they remade it into Brotherhood. Like an example could be, of an anime like that could be good to be redone, or Hunter x Hunter being redone because it never finished the original anime, so they just restarted it, redid it or whatever. Like an anime like
Finish
The Promised Neverland.
Noragami.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, The Promised Neverland could also be redone as well, but that's a whole other thing.
It needs to be.
But yeah,
Damn.
so still waiting on season
Yeah.
2 on that, by the way. So never.
Before we wrap up, as it, I know maybe you have something to say too. For
Yeah, like I said earlier, I feel like once Oda finally focus on the conclusion to our One Piece story that we got now, he can do a remake later. The reason why is because JoJo did the same thing. JoJo Bizarre Adventure. They have more, as of currently, they still have more manga panels than One Piece currently in their manga. Like even years ago, they already had over 1,000. They're still going with JoJo. I feel like if they did do a remake after this, One Piece could be a legacy anime series if they just focus on the pacing right. Newer animation, better pacing, because we've seen it with JoJo already, and JoJo's one of the biggest anime to this day. So that's all I was saying.
JoJo's original anime was a failure, though. That's
You could argue One Piece is too.
No, it's not. It's been on air for 25 years.
But it's sold more than Batman comics and the Bible together. Like as a profit, it's a confirmed thing. In 2020, what is it? In 2019 or 2020, it sold more than the Bible, and then it also sold more than Batman comics. So like it's official. It's one of the biggest medias in the world.
I just don't think that it's a story that lends itself. Like it's not. We have like I mentioned, we have a new Batman for every era. We have a new Spider-Man for every era, for every generation. We tell folk tales and folk stories once everywhere. Even Wonka got a remake. Wonka got a redoing. We have a Wonka for this generation. Disney's trying to do live action remakes. Try to give a new generation their version of Aladdin, their version of The Lion King. There's so many things trying to be turned into legacy franchises, but to think that a 20-year story, a story of everlasting adventure across an expansive sea, an expansive world, could be retold like on the fly, like a cycle like that.
But they already did it though. With the live action. The live action is confirmed a big success, and some people even said it may be the best live action of all anime history. And I ain't trying to hype that up though. But that's the difference.
The difference I see about that is that's an adaptation outside of the what's it called, original medium. It's an adaptation to attract a different audience, people who only watch real life people. But people who have less of an attention span, because they're also condensing the story. Like it's not just a readaptation, a reanimation, and that's what the remake is being proposed, at least to me, as it's literally just a reanimation to do that first arc.
Well.
Yeah, to me,
I guess repaste. Yeah. Sure.
To me, I see it the same way. I see it the same way how. If you guys don't know, Classroom Elite was not confirmed to get a second season after 2016 when the first original anime came out. Yeah. It was the main purpose of Classroom Elite was to promote the manga and get more people invested in the light novel. And then when they saw that we got more anime fans to come to the manga and light novel, then they was like, maybe we should come back with the anime again. So that's kind of how I saw it with One Piece, because it's confirmed it brought more anime fans after the live action. I get what you're saying as well, though. But I feel like if as long as stuff is done correctly, where it matches the audiences and touch them in a certain way with emotion, I feel like anything could necessarily be a legacy as long as it's done well enough.
I like that you told me that, because that's got me like, damn, because I definitely wouldn't have known about Classroom of the Elite if they hadn't done that, because I don't read manga.
Yeah, because it came back like 3 years later.
I don't read. Period.
I don't read. I can't read. That's my I'm illiterate.
Crazy.
Um,
Tough.
With the
but
pen in his hand.
yeah,
Didn't say you couldn't write.
I do want. I've been holding in. Shut up. I've been holding in this excitement for like the past 30 minutes. Bro, like you saw me for a second. I was on my phone. Um, I just looked at her TikTok.
Oh,
It it
Oh shit.
our most recent TikTok just blew the fuck up. We just broke through a new plateau. And I'm
nice.
pretty fucking excited about that. We've got
Okay, well, like,
5.4K on views in this, and it was about One Piece in the filler. And I gotta say, I'm pretty excited about how like the views. We've got a bunch of followers. I mean, I'm thinking plus 3 followers is a lot because, like, bro,
fuck it,
compared to
man.
where we, like,
It
bro,
is.
every follower counts. Those 3 followers, hell yeah,
I ain't gonna lie, I
hell
was
yeah.
thinking I
We
was,
got
I was trying to
three
hold my
fucking
expectations.
followers, hell yeah.
I thought
And
he was
then
gonna say,
like
yeah,
our
that shit
likes.
broke 100K. That's damn.
Shut up. No, hey, fuck you. I'm excited about this.
Baby
It's
steps.
amazing.
Baby steps.
Baby
I
step,
really
baby
Baby
want
step.
to.
steps. That's right.
I really,
Those 3 followers. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah.
I really looked
Yeah,
at
Shout
the
out to them.
comments,
we
and one of the
appreciate
comments,
each and every one of you type shit.
We
one
love you guys.
one of the comments had said Ichiban needs a better mic.
And they
Damn.
wasn't wrong. They were not wrong.
Oh, that.
It was the
Yeah.
flow itself. The flow, y'all be straight jumping.
They're calling me out. I do need a better mic, but still, even like, bro, you're right. I do need a better mic, and I'm working on it. But again,
Progress.
baby steps. Like, I'm over here like, damn, like this shit is popping up, and I'm excited.
Wait,
because,
these
like,
fuckers are disagreeing with me? Hold on. Let's make another clip. Fuck this shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
You
you all
y'all
need
want to
to
react
like
to the
look at.
comments? Someone
I
share their
want you
screen.
guys to
This
Pull it
see
up.
shit.
the.
Run it back. If you're judging an anime, you judge the fucking anime. If the anime has filler, why
Bro,
would you?
it's not. That's stupid.
How is
I'm
that
judging the
stupid? You're
source
judging the
material.
anime.
The source material.
You don't
Is it,
read. You don't read.
is it this one?
Why would I judge shit that's not
Yes.
canon? I'm judging canon.
Wait,
Because you're just okay. What is canon?
Shit
What is
that
canon?
comes from the manga.
Why would you judge the anime if you're only going to judge things that come from the manga? Judge the manga.
Ooh.
Because I like watching
Ooh.
anime.
If you like watching anime, then judge the anime. The
I
anime
don't like
has
reading manga. As much.
the anime has original material. Not only are you disregarding material that the anime thought either A was good enough to fill out for them to continue to produce things without completely catching up to the manga, or they thought that it was so essential that they had to include it instead of just a direct adaptation.
I can't
So
disagree
If
with
it's
you
like
to
an
say that, 'cause I
add-on,
haven't
like
seen
an
it yet.
essential add-on, yeah,
Right.
that's part of the story. Yes.
But
like
who
the actual
determines
filler?
who determines if it's essential? Who determines if it's essential?
I want to real
There's
quick.
filler in Chainsaw Man. It makes it better.
Oh, that's
It's good
Okay.
filler.
Well, if it's like filler arcs or completely
Filler
filler
up.
moments, I'm not going to include
Filler
that because right now I skip it. So I mean I can't because I haven't seen it. But
I need
originally
you
when I
guys to
watched it,
answer
I'm
this.
trying to not include it either because now I don't think
I
I
need you
skip it,
guys.
so it'd be disingenuous.
I wanna interact with the community that we're building right now, like starting right now. Or I mean, I've already been trying to, but I need to clarify some questions that are in the comments.
Yeah, let's
Uh,
go through it. Ozzy, can you?
okay.
Are you sharing that?
So right there, right where you see Ray on the right, he
Yeah.
says, "I'm confused. Is he saying that Bleach is affected more by filler than Naruto? Question mark. The filler is the same for both and has no effect on either." So let's answer that question.
I was saying that Bleach is more affected by filler because the filler in Bleach, a majority of it comes in the form of an entire arc that is placed in between the introduction arc of Bleach and like the most important arc of Bleach, arguably, at least in terms of its first adaptation. Placing an entire arc's worth of information, development, characters that are added, a new power system that is completely evolved. Having that in between arcs and then having the anime continue after that completely makes that viewing experience on a week-to-week basis or on a binging basis. If you watch the filler, it makes it horrible because you just spent 20 something, 30 something, 40 something episodes consuming information, meeting characters that don't matter for the rest of the series. When you are consuming art, when you are telling a story, part of establishing characters, part of establishing plots, part of establishing powers and power systems is to keep them consistent. If they aren't present because it's filler right in the middle of things that are supposed to be consistent, how can you tell a good story? You can't tell a good story with that. So as a result, that affects how you watch Bleach and therefore the story that Bleach's anime is telling, compared to Naruto, where a majority of the filler is put at the very end of Naruto Part 1. So I wasn't looking at how you go into it then watching 2007 Naruto Shippuden. No, it's at the end of everything. So narratively, okay, there's nothing to hold Naruto to because it hasn't had a chance to either disregard that material or continue to adapt it.
I respect what you said, but I respect what you said, but I know there's gonna be a clip that's gonna be taken out of context and people just gonna comment some crazy stuff. I genuinely respect what you said though.
Yeah, what was that one that had 10 replies? There was a comment that had 10 replies on there.
It's 2 of them. Wait. Is it one? Oh no, it's 2 of them.
10 replies. Who the fuck?
Okay, I start watch Naruto because of the filler, but One Piece, the filler DOs affect it one bit. So there's 9 filler episodes. It's just bad pacing.
DOs.
There's 5. There's 9 episodes that are wholly filler, but One Piece has this thing called mixed filler, where it will elongate period like actual canon, but it will just like stretch it and then add like bullshit within the episode. But the rest of the episode will actually be from an actual chapter.
I do want to look at another comment real quick before we get.
One Piece should have filler.
Yes. Somebody said no. It isn't good. One Piece should have filler. The canon episodes are getting worse because it doesn't. We have entire episodes where nothing happens at all. I just want to talk about this.
I agree.
That's an interesting thing.
I agree, actually.
Because
if it had whole episodes of filler, if One Piece had whole episodes of filler, then that means that like literally later in the year, it would just be 6 straight months of like full canon material that they could like actually spend budget on. If you had like 3 months out of the year where the One Piece anime was just filler episodes, then that means that like we see in Boruto, where we have entire arcs or entire segments of just filler, they spend less budget on filler because they know it's filler. They know that less people are watching, less people care, and that's not important to the story. So they're going to put less effort and less money into it. If you have that in full episodes, then that means that you can spend even more time in the later half of the year perfecting the actual canon, perfecting the actual things that matter.
I feel at that point, you just need to take a break. I'd rather they make an announcement taking a break versus use resources for filler.
But you're not going to take a break from One Piece.
If they did it a couple times. I get what you're saying, though. They're not going to take an actual break to make the episodes better.
And bro, if they actually did that and made 3 months of filler, it would just, because we saw what happened with Boruto. That shit killed it. Like Boruto died.
Boruto doesn't have 25 years of history. Boruto also Boruto was coming out monthly. So
yeah, that's true.
Like there were people,
and it
like
started
it was
before
just,
the manga did.
And it started before and it also just wasn't a popular enough manga at any time for like the manga creators to be like, wait, it's coming. If it was told from a Toei executive from January to March, we're gonna have filler episodes from April to December, straight canon, and it's gonna be the best animated shit in the market, everyone would be cool with it. Problem is, Boruto did that shit from the jump when there was no expectations and no one to say, but wait, hear them out. And there was also no plan. That shit just sucked. Boruto, God.
Hey, but like, look, if started Boruto with canon shit, Boruto would have probably took off. But that's a whole nother
Funny as hell. I'm
topic.
gonna say this last comment, and then I think we'll call it a wrap because I do
Yeah.
have to leave soon. But damn, like this, I'm liking this today's pod. This shit really took off. There's one right
No, you need
under
to scroll down.
Ray. Yeah, you
How
see
you
it right
report
there.
comments?
Right here?
Right here. It says, if you don't know what filler is, you don't need to be making a podcast. If you don't know how to not talk over each other, you don't need to make a podcast. And I just replied, I liked it and I replied and I said, LOL, it's chaos. I'll admit we do need to work on that a little bit, but it's funny because I love when somebody says some crazy shit and we all just go out and
Gang up.
start fucking.
I wonder. I
We're like,
wonder how
"Oh,
many
fuck."
non like produced podcasts they listen to. Because even a fully produced podcast like shit, the only one I listen to right now is formerly Through the Wire, now Numbers on the Board. They're on an ESPN set and still talk over each other. That's the nature of conversation.
I
It's
was
like,
wondering that myself too. Like, how do you
Hey, and I mean, to be fair, I
control
will
that?
say as well that this is a lot. This is a lot of comments. Like we don't usually get this many on shorts as well, so that is.
It
Pretty
is, bro. It's
yeah.
fucking great. I love it.
Got you. What I noticed on Instagram, if you post 2 videos, like when you first start off, you have to post 2 shorts at a time. Use around 3 to 4 max hashtags related to the topic of your video. And if you can add topics, then add topics. But if you can't add topics, then it's cool. Because all these apps now, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, they go based on SEO, which is search engine
Optimization.
yeah.
Yeah.
So whatever you say is related to as long as it's similar to the description and it play back, sooner or later it's gonna pick back up. Same thing with Instagram. Instagram iffy. Same with TikTok for me. It's iffy, but
And Instagram, I think it's just weirder because it's not consistent.
yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's like they do this weird. What's it called? Like they'll show something from like a month ago, and it's like, why is this up here? I'm gonna look like a weirdo liking this person's post because I thought it was a recent post and something from like
true.
2013. Like, what the fuck?
I know.
Like,
I know we're kind of getting way off here, but like, bro, just keep posting the shit on Insta, bro. Like, trust.
I made a video for 2022, and I was like, let me just post on Instagram. It was like, did you know Deku likes let it all hang? Because the translation, it basically says that Deku is about to stick out because he's in a bunny outfit. So that's why he's in Miriko's outfit. So I literally said in the translation, it says Deku is about to let it all like stuff like that. So people thought I was saying something really crazy, but I was like, no, I literally said the translation as the intro. And I was like, in the translation from Japanese to English.
Cardiac's face was
and
like,
that will be all from us over at the Full Podcast.
Yeah. All right.
No,
we're gonna
like,
let Azit end on this note. Yeah.
That's not.
All right.
But it got some views because people thought I was trying to say, yeah, you know, Deku's like that, and I was not saying that.
We know why. We know what the people were saying. Because we thought it in our heads, type shit. So
yeah. All right.
Yeah, man.
We'll call it a day.
Yeah, make sure to check out Oz's stuff too. You know, link to his channel and all that in the description, all that. You should have go check out the Insta. You know, all that shit, the TikTok, all that. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it.
Tight shit. Thanks for coming on, my brother.
Anytime, guys.
Hell yeah.
All right. This is where we get to the very sad part of the day, where we unfortunately have to say goodbye, listeners. This has been your new addiction. This has been your new favorite podcast series.
This has been
the flow.
Oh my god.
Peace out.
That's gonna miss you. We love you guys.
As it, thank you. Oh my god.